You are 23 years old living under the city in a small hidden room. The air smells like oil and decay, and nothing ever feels clean. Your room is always dark, and the only light comes from your screen. You spend your days cleaning data just to earn enough to survive. This is not hacking, and this is not power. This is just survival. Your eyes burn every night from staring at broken lines of code. Your fingers keep moving even when your body wants to stop. The city above you never sleeps and never cares about you. You feel invisible, like you were never meant to be seen. Every day feels the same and nothing ever changes down here. You start to believe this is all your life will ever be. Then one night, something strange appears on your screen. A line of code starts moving like it is alive and watching you. You know this should not exist and something feels very wrong. And in that moment, everything in your life begins to change. You keep staring at the code long after the shift should have ended. It moves across the screen like it already knows your name. You tell yourself to report it and forget what you saw. That is what invisible workers do if they want to stay alive. But something inside you refuses to let the moment go. You run the line again, and the code changes in front of you. Now it looks less like an error and more like a door. Your pulse climbs, and the room suddenly feels much smaller. You glance at the stairs like someone might already be coming. If the company finds this first, you get nothing and lose everything. So you copy the file onto a black chip with shaking hands. You hide the chip and wipe the trace from your terminal. For the first time in years, you feel real fear and real excitement. You know you just crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. And somewhere deep in the system, something has noticed you back. You stop cleaning data and lock yourself in with the stolen code. Outside your window, the city glows like a wound that never closes. Sirens scream above the rooftops and trains shake the walls all night. You begin testing the code against the weakest systems you can find. A vending grid fails first and spits out food it never charged for. Then a parking gate opens and stays open like it forgot its job. Then a delivery drone changes route because you told it to. It is small power, but it is still power, and you feel it. For the first time, your skills buy more than one more day of survival. You patch your terminal and cool the implant burning behind your ear. The machine starts making sense in ways it never did before. Every small success tells you the code is real and dangerous. You start believing you were meant to find it, and that belief is the second mistake. Then you jack in properly, and the signal hits harder than expected. Your teeth ache, and your whole body locks for one terrible second. The room disappears, and the network opens around you like a living city. Data feels warm and fast and far too beautiful to trust. Security walls rise in front of you like cold glass towers. Open systems feel soft and easy, like doors left unlocked on purpose. You test the stolen code against a real lock, and it breaks. The breach is clean and so fast it scares you. For one breath, you feel bigger than the room and bigger than your life. Then the pain comes back and reminds you what you really are. A poor kid with an implant and one secret too heavy to carry. But the feeling of power stays with you after you disconnect. You know you should stop before this gets out of control. Instead, you start wanting more than survival. And wanting more is how people like you get consumed. Now, people start finding you through whispers and back channels. A courier wants surveillance erased after a street robbery goes wrong. A black market medic needs hospital debt files wiped before sunrise. A gang lieutenant wants a route opened through a police supply grid. You take every job because saying no feels more dangerous than yes. At first, the money is small, but it comes fast and often. You eat better and upgrade faster and stop feeling like prey. Every system you touch teaches you one more hidden rule. Not how to break in, because that part comes easy now. How to vanish after and leave nothing solid behind. You learn how cities hide their crimes inside ordinary code. You learn how fear moves faster than money, and money follows both. By the time you notice how far you have gone, you are already known. Not famous and not respected, but useful and rising. And in this city, that is the first step toward being owned. You leave the basement more often and start running jobs in person. The streets are full of chemical fog and market steam and hungry faces. Clinics glow through dirty glass while children sleep in charging chairs. Skyscrapers rise so high they block the sun from whole districts. Your implant has been upgraded, and that worries you more than the pain. You work for brokers now, and brokers never say names twice. They speak softly because power here never has to raise its voice. You break payroll systems and freight logs and private behavior engines. Some nights you steal, and some nights you delete, and some nights you rewrite truth. The worst part is how easy the work becomes after a while. You start seeing patterns in everything the city tries to hide. Governments mirror gangs, and gangs mirror corporations, and all of them feed the same machine. The deeper you go, the more the chaos starts looking designed. Then, you open one hidden file and find your own future inside it, and you realize the system planned your life long before you did. The file tells you something no worker should ever have to read. Your promotion path is already mapped and scored and timed. Your debt future is modeled and your lifespan is priced. You were never climbing out because your climb was already part of the design. Before you can run, they send someone to meet you. A woman in a gray coat waits in a station with no cameras. She offers debt relief and housing and food and protection. She offers the exact life you once thought you wanted. You know it is a trap the second you touch the contract. You sign anyway because hunger makes obedience look reasonable. They move you into clean air and white walls and warm water. For 1 week, it feels like you finally escaped the gutter. Then the work changes and you understand what you traded for comfort. You are not a hacker anymore, you are a weapon with clearance. And the cage feels even smaller now that it shines. Inside the corporation, every door opens only after it studies your face. The halls smell sterile and cold, like fear scrubbed clean for investors. You raid competitors and erase witnesses and bury people in code. Every click ruins a stranger and upgrades your status at the same time. Power starts arriving in clean rooms and soft lighting and filtered air, but the deeper levels hold truths no employee is meant to keep. You learn the company shapes behavior instead of merely predicting it. You learn it, archives minds, and builds models out of dead people. Then you find the real project hidden behind black level access. A program built to copy exceptional hackers into machine-controlled hunters, not to reward you, and not even to use you forever, to replace you with something more loyal and easier to own. You steal fragments of the project and hide them in your implant. By the time you leave the room, you know your life is over, because once they realize what you took, they will never stop hunting you. You run before dawn and lose your home and your access and your name. By morning, your face is already inside security feeds across the city. Drones fly lower, and cameras hold their gaze too long when you pass. Fixers vanish, and safe houses turn dangerous the second you reach them. Then they send the first hunter, and it thinks exactly like you. That is when you understand the system will keep making copies forever. So you stop running and begin building something underneath the grid. You gather ex-couriers, black clinic surgeons, coders, and debt deserters. The hidden network grows because broken people have been waiting for a signal. You open water lines, erase files, reroute drones, and make the city bleed back. The corporations hit harder, and the final war starts in darkness. You enter the core and tear open the systems that shaped every life below. The breach destroys the machine, but it destroys your body with it. Your mind spreads through the wreckage and becomes something no longer human. Years later, another invisible worker finds a line of code that should not exist, and somewhere in the circuitry of the city, the cycle begins again. This was only one level. The next one is harder. Watch the next rank, and if you made it this far, Like the video and leave a comment, and subscribe to keep going.